Do you want me in shot or out?
You're fine there. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Andrew Ainsworth Golf Academy. A little bit different today. I've got a good friend with me today. This is Peter Strachan. Peter and I have known each other for a number of years now. Peter's trained in something called NLP. NLP stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming. And when people first hear that, Peter, they normally go, what? What's all that about? But Peter's very highly trained in this skill, and as a golf coach, I realise how important the mental aspect of golf is. So Peter's coming today to talk to us about it, and I think you're going to find it a massive help for your game. So Peter, welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Nice to be here again.
Could you explain to my watchers what it's all about?
Okay, yes I will, and let me say it's very nice to meet you all, and thank you for tuning in again. And I'm sure that you'll find what we're going to do now slightly different and very interesting, because I know that Andrew is an expert in the technical aspects of the game, and I think we all recognise now how much behaviour plays a part in success in sport, and how we're thinking and how we're feeling has got a massive effect on performance. NLP is an understanding of how we behave, and more importantly, how we can change our behaviour to be more effective. So I've been doing this now for about 12 years, and I've worked with Andrew throughout that time, and he and I put together a programme where we include the technical aspects of golf, which are clearly very important, with the behavioural aspects of golf, so we can start to think and feel the way that we need to maximise our performance. And I think it's probably worth pointing out, and note that you'll all know this, of course, that all of the pro golfers now have psychologists and mind coaches work with them to make sure that they're in the right frame of mind for a tournament.
Very much so, Peter. I mean, these guys and girls who play professional golf are playing under huge amounts of pressure, and they've been trained, using these mind coaches to control really their emotions, haven't they, on the golf course? I mean, you think of the pressure that these people are playing under. They can cope with these pressures, but that's a skill which a lot of them have had to learn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some get it naturally, but most don't. So what we're here to do today is to try and pass on some of this knowledge, the techniques that these guys and girls use to help you play better golf. And we've got a bit of a situation, haven't we, where you people out there may be able to sort of, think, yeah, I've been there. The old first tee nerves, Peter.
Yeah,
let's talk about that.
Well, I'm a good amateur golfer as well, and so I can totally understand this. And even the pros, I think, would admit to, when they're standing on the first tee of a tournament.
Ryder Cup, they all say that's the most nervous they've ever felt, isn't it?
Right, so how do they manage to control their feelings and swing at the ball? Now, I'm sure all of us, who've played amateur golf, the Sunday medal, standing on the first tee, picture it, you've got perhaps 30, 40 people around the clubhouse, all watching you. How many people stand on the first tee? And, Andrew, when people have got that kind of situation, yep, what is it that they tell you they're thinking?
99.9% of the time, they're telling me about hitting a bad shot. They are preparing themselves, basically, to hit a bad shot. So they'll be stood there and they'll be thinking, hope I don't top it, hope I don't snap hook it into the lake on the left, hope I don't sky it. So basically, all negative thoughts that are going on.
Right, and this is a really good place to start, because actually the way that your brain works is that the thing that you put your attention on is what tends to happen.
Right.
So, for instance, I'd explain to you that your brain cannot process a negative positively.
Okay.
So, for instance, if I ask you not to think of a blue tree, what is it you've just thought of?
I'm thinking of a blue tree.
And also the thing is that you can't ignore it, so your brain has to try and work something out.
That blue tree's right in my head at the
Exactly.
moment.
So if you're thinking, right, what I mustn't do here is snap hook this ball off the tee, what is going through your mind now?
I can't think of anything else but a snap hook. I can actually see it happening.
And so what tends to happen is what we're thinking about is where our attention goes, is where our energy goes, so that's what happens. Yeah. So the very thing that you're trying to avoid is the very thing that you create.
Yeah. So we're preparing ourselves for failure.
Absolutely. So the first thing that we have to do is to really make sure that we have an outcome in our head, a positive outcome that we want to happen, as opposed to a negative outcome that we're trying to avoid. So I think should we just go on and do a really simple exercise?
Let's do it. Yep.
Whereas you can be the golfer, and
Yep.
we'll just talk through things. So what I'm really interested in achieving here, Andrew, is you getting a thought in your head of what you want to achieve rather than you want to avoid. So let's imagine we're on your. You must have a hole that, you know, over the years you've hated playing. Many holes. Pick your worst.
The one that sticks out in my mind is a par 3 on a golf course I used to play a lot. 200 yards long, not particularly difficult, but for some reason I stood on that tee and I always hooked it miles left onto the next tee. Miles left. Whatever I did, I hooked it.
Right, okay.
But looking back, as I was standing on that tee now, looking back, all I was doing was thinking, oh God, I hope I don't put it on that tee again, I hope I don't hook it.
Right. And so when you think, I hope I don't hook it,
Yep.
then your brain can't process the negative part of that.
No.
So all your brain does for you is give you an image, an internal image
Yep.
of you hooking it.
Yep.
And how often did that actually happen?
Pretty 9 times out of 10.
Right, so let's go back to that tee, because the great thing about our brains is that they can really do anything we want them to, you know,
Sure.
if we ask them. So I want you to know, what hole was it, by the way?
It was the 6th
Of
at Ashridge Golf Course. Yeah.
Of course, I know it well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know the 6th at Ashridge.
Yeah.
Right, so you walked up through the trees to the little track, and you've now gone onto the
I'm on the tee.
tee.
Probably.
And what I want you to imagine now in your head, the only picture you're allowed to process is
Yep.
a positive picture of the ball flying directly towards the heart of the green.
Yep.
So put aside any negative thoughts whatsoever and only think of the positive thought of doing that now.
Yep.
And do that now and play the shot
Yep.
when you're ready to, and only when you can think of the most positive shot that you want to play.
Okay.
And how did you feel?
It felt less cluttered.
Okay.
I mean, to start with, there was a sort of a bad image coming in my head. Okay, the bad shot was still there. So I got rid of it. I basically imagined, I visualised the shot in my head. I could see the flag in my mind, and I just visualised the straight shot going at the flag.
All right, let's have a comparison then.
Yeah.
Let's now do it the way that you used to do it.
Yeah.
So do exactly the same pre-setup routine, and this time, imagine you're hooking the shot to the left of the green the way that you used to dread doing it.
Yeah.
And notice the difference in how you process the information.
Okay.
So perhaps this would have been the way that you used to before you and I started to work together.
I mean, I'll talk out loud here. I can kind of remember what I felt like stood in that situation. So I'd be stood on the tee, and really, I'm looking at the green, but I'm expecting the ball to finish over here.
Right.
So I've probably visualised that shot in my head.
So visualise that shot now
Yeah.
in your head,
Yeah.
and play the shot, knowing that this is the way not to do it.
Okay.
And let's just see what happens.
Sorry, the GC2 isn't on at the moment, folks. That's why you're not seeing where the ball's going. But that was going left. Yeah.
How did it feel though?
It felt tense to start with. It's one of those situations where you approach. How many times have you heard this other golfers saying, "I knew that shot wasn't going to be good," and I kind of expected that to be a poor shot because I didn't feel right over the ball.
And I would say to all the viewers as well that how often have you stood over a ball and you've known it's not right, you've persevered with the shot.
And hit
how
a
many
bad one.
times in those circumstances have you hit a good shot?
I can't remember ever that happening.
So I think so the first lesson, and we can link one or two things here. What we're talking about here is to give some kind of inner track to the inner game, recognizing that the game in your head is just as important as your golf swing.
Absolutely.
So I think probably the first lesson, and probably the most basic and important one, is to always hold a thought inside your head of playing the perfect shot.
Yeah. Visualize it.
Absolutely visualize it.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you can't visualize it, don't play the shot.
Right. Okay.
So I think that's probably the first lesson for
Peter,
today.
That's great for today. So that's a little insight on what we're going to do. And what we're going to do here, folks, is we're going to post several little videos, and we're going to delve into different areas. And Peter's going to explain to us how we can use these skills and take them to the golf course. So hope you've enjoyed a little introduction to it. Keep liking the videos, subscribe to the videos if you haven't done already, share them with your friends, because we really feel this is a way of helping your game. So we'll be back soon with another video. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.